ASTRO BOT is one of the most well-reviewed games of this year. It's a contender for Game of the Year and is arguably one of the best 3D platformers to come out in the past decade. And having played through the whole game myself, I'm inclined to agree. And today, PlayStation has sponsored this video to help showcase how you can take the ASTRO BOT experience even further, literally, with the PlayStation Portal Remote Player. Before diving into that though, I do want to focus on just ASTRO BOT itself for a moment because this game is just pure joy, and there's a lot of reasons why I think it makes a very natural fit for a handheld experience. If you haven't looked too much into it yet, ASTRO BOT is basically the bigger, better, more fully featured sequel to Astro's Playroom, the little demo game that came with the PS5 for free that helped showcase a lot of DualSense features while also just being a fantastic platformer in its own right. And really, ASTRO BOT has been built around a lot of the core ideas introduced to that game, but expanded to such a greater degree. It has a slightly linear level structure where you're going to be visiting different planets that you land on, and each planet is its own little unique stage you play through. And while each planet does have a structure that's around the kind of basic idea of point A to point B, get through the level, finish its challenges, there's all kinds of little hidden goodies to discover across the way, whether that's little hidden puzzle pieces that unlock in-game functions like being able to customize your ship or wear different costumes for Astro, or also rescuing different bots, some of which should have a generic bot design, but a lot of which are also based on characters from a lot of franchises associated with PlayStation, both first-party ones, but also third-party IP that have a very significant role in PlayStation's history. Visually, the game is just absolutely gorgeous, not just in terms of its general art design and aesthetic, but its use of colors, the unique characters that you meet along the way, and it's all accompanied by a soundtrack that, just like in Astro's Playroom, is simply phenomenal. One of the things that really just stands out to me about the general design of the game is how every stage really has its own strong sense of personality. The game relies on IPs for things like the bot designs. There are certainly some larger and louder references that I'd rather not talk about and keep as a surprise for anyone who ends up playing the game, but all the main stages themselves are built to be their own original unique thing for Astro. They're not just leaning on the nostalgia of older titles, and there are so many fun little things that happen across each one that makes every single stage memorable. Whether that's in its particular aesthetic and design, some kind of unique gimmick or mechanic that only happens on that stage, and even just the wacky characters or stage designs themselves that you encounter as part of it. And the unique gimmick of some stages is actually one of the aspects of this game that I love the most. Your core moveset is pretty straightforward. You have the ability to jump, you have a little double jump that shoots lasers beneath you, you can do your punch, you can do your spin attack, but a lot of stages also incorporate some kind of additional gimmick that you unlock and take advantage of, which do crop up across a couple different stages, but even then, the way they use that mechanic can end up varying in some very interesting ways, whether that's taking advantage of a robot dog backpack that acts as a dash ability to break through different objects, or a pair of frog gloves that allow you to have extendable punching fists. I will say that for the most part, the game does lean a little bit more on the forgiving side, difficulty-wise, at least for the main stages, but there are also optional challenge stages you can engage with that up the difficulty significantly. These are designed to be smaller in scale compared to the regular levels, but they have no checkpoints. You basically just have to get from the start to the finish in one go, no mistakes, there are no extra lives or anything to work with, you just always start right back from the beginning, and generally these are more difficult, with a small handful of them being actually a pretty frustrating challenge, in a good way. At the very core of the game though, I think one of the things that resonates the most with me is that, while on paper a lot of this is great, you can talk about the visuals, the music, the mechanics, all that is fantastic still. But underneath all that, at its very center, this is one of those games where you can just feel the love that went into it. Like, you can tell the devs had fun making this game. It's not just something that's designed to appeal to a certain target market or demographic. It's not something that's made by the numbers. There's a real sense of wonder and joy that is infused into its core design that is undeniable. Whether that's in the ways that it pays homage to some of these older PlayStation classical titles, or even with its own original designs and just funny little moments that are there purely for the sense of enhancing that overall state of wonder. It just all comes together in a way that the best way I can describe the entire experience, start to finish, is pure joy. And a lot of these elements are also why I think this game makes a perfect fit for a handheld experience, which the PlayStation Portal opens up. You know, I've always been primarily a handheld preferred person. A lot of people associate that with like, oh, you like gaming on the go and going outside, but honestly, even when I'm home, I like playing handheld primarily whenever it's an option. Just because I have so many more flexible options for how and where I play, whether that's having a lazy Sunday morning, so I'm just staying in bed playing game for a while, maybe getting a quick level in while I'm having my morning cup of coffee, playing on the couch while having a TV show or movie going on in the background, maybe someone else is watching something, they just want the opportunity to get some more time with the game. And the Portal is able to give all of that for ASTRO BOT. Now, if you're not really familiar with the PlayStation Portal, or you've only heard little bits of it, this is something that I reviewed last year, where I did a much more in-depth dive, but the basic idea here is that this is a remote player specifically designed to work with the PS5. So it is a handheld that is giving you access to your PS5 library, as well as that PS5 level of performance, just in a smaller, portable form that you're able to play over Wi-Fi. You are specifically remote playing your PlayStation 5 device. You're not streaming games directly from some kind of PlayStation server. It's all done through your device itself. And with that in mind, I do recommend, if you want to get the absolute best experience possible out of the PlayStation Portal, you should make sure your PS5 is hardwired into the internet so you have the strongest signal possible. And when done right with a good Wi-Fi connection, it is a near seamless experience. And one of the things specific about the Portal that actually enhances this is that not only are you getting a 1080p signal version of your PS5 visuals brought over to the beautiful PlayStation Portal display, but you are also still able to take advantage of DualSense features, which is a very core part of ASTRO BOT game design. You know, features like haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, these are things that ASTRO BOT takes heavy advantage of. After all, that was part of the main pitch of Astro's Playroom as a way of showcasing what the DualSense is capable of. And these are features that you can lose out on using some other forms of remote play that is going to be preserved in the Portal because it has those things. There is one other PlayStation accessory I want to shout out real quick because I think it actually completes this full package a bit more, which is the PlayStation Pulse Explorer. This is a pair of wireless earbuds that's designed to take advantage of not only Bluetooth, but more importantly, PlayStation Link, a new wireless technology that PlayStation uses to ensure a nice high quality audio signal. Now there's an adapter for these that you have to use if you want to use it with your PlayStation 5 or with a PC, but with the Portal, that actually has the Link technology built in, so you're able to connect directly, no additional adapters necessary. Not only that, but the Explorer is also capable of supporting both signal types at the same time, and so while you're getting the great rich audio of ASTRO BOT's music and sound effects all pumped through those earbuds, you're also going to be able to be connected to your phone at the same time via Bluetooth, so if you have a call coming in or there's something else you want to listen to at the same time, you're able to do that. If there's any game on the PS5 that I think is a perfect fit for the Portal, it's ASTRO BOT. The level structure and design, the ability to just dive in and get through a quick stage, maybe you're trying to get a quick couple runs in on a challenge stage, you're just taking your time trying to find a bot you missed on a previous run, so you're just taking some time trying to poke and prod around a stage where you know you're missing something that you haven't quite found yet. Just the style of game that ASTRO BOT is and its general structure fits the handheld experience so perfectly, and I'm glad the Portal is an option available to be able to do that. So that's just me raving a bit about how much I love ASTRO BOT and how the Portal is a great way to play this game. If you have yet to pick ASTRO BOT up or you're interested in picking up a Portal, I do have links for those posted down below in the description. Once again, I do want to thank PlayStation for sponsoring today's video showcasing how ASTRO BOT is a perfect fit for the Portal. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button to let me know, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you all later.